We are back again with EE Showdown 1. Apple against Mmoze, set against Oranos on Savannah this time. Apple is currently up 1-0, having taken the win on Ghost Slate last game, and he's looking to see what he can do on Savannah. It is a 1 Rhino starting hunt spawn, which is pretty low, and the Rhino is sort of tough and tanky to kill, so it might not be the smoothest early game builds for both of these players. Apple this time, again, like the previous game, he's chosen not to use vision straight away and instead save it for his shifting sands. He's going to be scouting around with his priest, hoping to get lucky and find some animals to convert. Meanwhile, Mmoze, he's got one citizen on the Rhino, he's got his eco guild up, so it looks like we are going to see a 430 advance from Mmoze. And this citizen here, where is it going? So it looks like Mmoze has chosen to take a bit of a gamble with the citizen blindly walking forward. After all, you don't really want to have two villagers working away at this Rhino because it's going to finish way sooner than when you have the food to advance to the next age. So he is taking a bit of a gamble and walking forward, and fortunately for Mmoze, he does find a pack of monkeys here and one giraffe. Meanwhile, Apple, on the other hand, he's moving forward trying to convert the giraffe, but this priest is getting spotted by the citizen of Mmoze and is going to have to back out. But Apple does not seem to be paying attention. This is really bad. You really do not want to lose this priest that early. The priest, if he notices it in time, he can still get away. It's got 3.6 speed, but the citizen, only 3.25 speed. If he notices it, he could have pulled the priest away, but the priest is down just 90 seconds in. This is so bad for Apple. I do know that the players had one veto each for the Special 3 series, but maybe Apple chose to play it out despite losing the priest, or he has already used a veto. I'm not quite sure why the veto did not happen after losing this priest, but that is a huge setback for our set player. Losing the priest already without converting a single animal. Looking at the relics on this map, we have Trojan Gate Hinge, which gives a bit more wall hit points. It's not that great of a relic, and Anvil of Hephaestus, also a slightly below average relic, which gives you cheaper armory upgrades. Now there are all these animals over here that the priest, if he was only alive, he could be converting. These hyenas, really strong units, having so much attack. This lion as well, even stronger than the hyena, having more health than it. But instead now we're going to just see Apple playing set sort of without any bonuses. It's almost like it's playing Ra at this point, but without having the priest empowerment. So that is definitely going to be a tough game for Apple, losing the priest that early. You see Apple now, he's finished his Rhino, but instead of moving on to the chickens, he's chosen to go for this forward giraffe spot. He wants to scoop up these giraffe with these 10 villagers ASAP before Oranos can get into classical age and start putting pressure and deny this hunt spot. After all, the chickens, they will always be at home waiting for him to come and gather them, while these giraffe, it's not going to be safe to gather them once Mmoze is in the classical age. Because of the big walking time from the Rhino to these giraffe, I believe Apple might have some difficulties advancing quickly. His temple is up now, but he doesn't quite have the food to advance. Meanwhile, Mmoze, on the other hand, he's already got the food to advance, and he's going to be going to the classical age at the standard 430, so he's had a perfect early game build, despite the time spent on the citizen here whacking away at the priest. He still manages to gather enough food to go to the classical age at exactly 430, which is really nice for him. The citizen now is going to back off from this really aggressive hunt spot and is going to be onto these giraffe, building a manor in preparation for any early aggression that set puts on top of this hunt. So these citizens, they're not going to be picked off so easily. Mmoze also grouping his 3 oracles next to the citizen in preparation for the shifting sands. If Apple tries to pull anything, then Valor will come down, and these oracles will be here to help protect against the Wadget and the free animals that Apple has. this aggressive shifting stance is not going to be quite as strong as other games, simply because Apple was not able to convert any animals this time. Looking at Mmoze's perspective, it appears that he is choosing not to go for any economic upgrades, which means that he's going to have a little bit stronger of an early classical age, being able to flood out units a bit more. We see the vision has been cast now by Apple onto this hunt over here. You see, it did not catch the oracles in the vision range, so he did not know that Mmoze had prepared some oracles over here to defend against the shifting sands. And when the shifting sands comes down, it looks like it's not going to do any damage at all. These oracles are here to defend it after all, and the oracles are now getting onto the Wadjet. Mmoze has to be careful though. This citizen is taking a lot of damage. You really don't want to be losing the citizen, and Mmoze reacts just in time to gather the citizen, and the shifting sands is defended perfectly. So that's one god power down for Apple. Shifting sands no longer being available, and also the Wadjet and all the free animals being picked off. A massive setback for Apple over here. He is going to grab the forward town center now. It does give him a little bit of map control, but the resources such as these giraffe over here, the gold mines, they are a little bit far away from the town center. I'm not sure if Apple is going to be able to go to the next stage if he doesn't manage to secure these giraffe. After all, this is Savannah. There isn't that much food in the base. Apple only has 4 goats and these chicken over here. Mmoze spots the hunt of Apple, the 3 giraffes over here. He's got his Prometheans over here. He's got his oracles over here. He's got the military barracks and counter barracks out now, and they're just starting to flood in units onto this location. It's not quite protected by the town center, and Apple just now starting to build his barracks, but I doubt that Apple is going to be able to get out enough soldiers from this barracks to be able to defend this hunt comfortably. The villagers are helping chime in now to fight the oracles, but is it going to be enough? There are quite a few villagers, and Apple has not actually lost any laborers yet, but he is going to be losing the Pharaoh, and that means that he's not going to have any answer to any Prometheans that come out. The Pharaoh is a really important defender of this hunt, and now the first villager falls for Apple. This villager is extremely low, it's on 1 health, and it falls as well. So 2 villagers down for Apple, and this hunt is still not safe. This villager here is extremely low. Mmoze is looking to pick it off. Mmoze focus fires it now. Good micro, picking off the villager. Another villager falls, 4th villager falls, and Apple taps out. In just 6 minutes, Mmoze has taken the win in Game 2 against Apple. So that was a little bit unfortunate for Apple, losing the priest that early, and then also just running into this huge hiccup with the HUD. Having a very weak shifting sands. The vision just not seeing the oracles in range, just being slightly out of range. So the oracles being there to defend the vision was a little bit of a surprise for Apple. Mmoze prepared very well for the shifting sands on his hunt, having gotten the manor up while advancing. Really important to do as Oranos. So a very fast Game 2 goes to Mmoze, and we will be moving on to a Game 3 between these 2 players.